We just wrapped up Thanksgiving and now Christmas is bearing down on us. Underneath the layers of Christmas wrapping paper and piles of newspaper inserts lies the heart of Christmas, and it's a heart full of love. But it's also a heart that knows stress. According to the American Psychiatric Association, 69% of us are stressed out because of a lack of time, 69% because of a lack of money, and 51% because of the whole idea of giving and getting gifts. Counselors report that this is a time of year when students are most likely to experience serious crises, and adults can feel their nerves and emotions frayed to breaking. But there are strategies for coping. Be aware of what stresses you out. Acknowledge that perfect Currier and Ives gatherings are only unrealistic fantasies. And despite all of the calls for holiday cheer, recognize that this is a profoundly important time to allow yourself to grieve. Take time to mourn the loss of a loved one, a divorce, a job loss, or a move away from family and friends. Recognizing the signs of stress, learning how to relax, and learning time management strategies can be literal lifesavers. As for those gifts, try to let go of expectations. If you don't expect anything, you won't be disappointed. And decide to give with a loving heart, not because you expect any particular response in return, but just because it feels good to give. But gifts are only the tip of the iceberg for those of us who have more difficult family relationships to deal with. Think of yourself as a Christmas tree, adorned with a jumbled array of relationships, more colorful and diverse than any odd assortment of Christmas ornaments, mismatched and oddly shaped, intertwined with the events in our lives that have brought sorrow and joy, each its own complex story, together shaping us into a beautiful piece of ever-changing art. But without the luxury of putting away those decorations at the end of the season. Nope, they just keep clinging to us, so we're stuck with them all year round. And once a year at Christmas time, when there's so much focus on family, we often experience a profound sense of stress as we struggle with the stories of our life. Of course, in conflicted relationships, someone's usually identified as the problem, maybe even you or me. When a family is overwhelmed by prolonged stress and anxiety, it usually will identify the problem as a child, or the marriage, or the spouse who's developed alcoholism, depression, or some other symptom. But when one person or one relationship is labeled the problem, other issues become clouded from view. The greater the tunnel vision, the more unlikely anything will change, because in the end, the only thing we can change is ourself. All of us have ways in which we normally interact with others. We may pursue or distance, fight or give in, overfunction or underfunction. And whatever our normal style, we'll do it that much more when conflict and stress get elevated. Stress makes us reactive. So the answer to stress is to simply remain calm and rational. Of course, it isn't quite as easy as that. Therapists and counselors are quick to point out that our reactions have deep roots. As we've grown, we've been formed and shaped by our experiences and our relationships. Our reactions and the things we react to are an important aspect of who we've become. And who we've become is important. All that we are and do has come about for a very good reason and serves an important purpose. But sometimes those very important traits outlast their usefulness, and we find we need to let some of them go, call some out, prune some off, if we are to be healthy and whole. Of course, no matter how successful we are at healing old wounds, no matter how calm and relaxed we become, things will go wrong. Unexpected events will occur, life circumstances will suddenly change. We'll discover there is much we do not and cannot control. We can't avoid stressful events, but we can learn not to respond with more stress by becoming fearful, anxious, and depressed. Jesus and other spiritual leaders throughout the ages have repeatedly told their followers not to worry, not to be anxious, but they never paint an idealized picture of the world. Instead, they reveal to us that death is certain, life is fragile, dangers abound, and human beings are full of limitations. And in revealing to us our powerlessness to change these certainties, they tell us not to try to do the impossible, to learn to let go of that which we cannot control. Accepting our own powerlessness is a profoundly spiritual state and one that leads to inner freedom and inner peace. There is a Zen meditation koan called Tale of the Unfortunate Traveler. A man was crossing a field when he encountered a tiger. He ran and the tiger chased him. Coming to a ledge, he grabbed a vine and swung himself down the edge. The tiger sniffed at him from above. Trembling, the man looked down to see another tiger waiting to eat him below. Only the vine sustained him. Then two mice, one white, one black, little by little started to gnaw away the vine. The man saw a luscious strawberry near him. Grasping the vine with one hand, he plucked the strawberry with the other. How sweet it tasted. What can we do when there's nothing we can do? Nothing and everything. Life is often painful. We can let it thrash us as we become increasingly agitated and stressed, or we can take steps to take care of ourselves and relieve ourselves of the impossible task of trying to make everything perfect. You know, department store trees never die, but they are cold and artificial. Our lives usually look more like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. A few branches broken, needles dropping, ornaments held together with tape and Elmer's glue. An honest tree, a genuine tree that has known life and known it fully. That tree is the most beautiful one of all. Namaste.